Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Free Pattern Friday. Yay! It's Free Pattern Friday. This one I'm calling Nibbled. Now this is perfect for those darker, low volumes because you're using darks and you're using the darker low volumes. The ones that, you know, you're kind of like, I don't know if I have enough contrast. Well, this is the perfect one to use them on. And, but first, before we get going on this, because this is really easy block, I want to talk to you about Jamie at the Quilting Compound. Her YouTube channel is in the show notes below. Now, we've talked about her a few times on her channel. She is just a charming woman. So go check her out. Tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. And yeah, make her day. Give her some words of love and encouragement. Now, all the other things that I'm going to talk about right now are also in that show notes or the description box. Look for the More button, right? And click on that on your device. We have a Facebook group and we have all sorts of fun community chats to get involved with. We also do all the same things other Facebook groups do, but we have a virtual sewing room in Discord that is for the Facebook group members only. And it's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. And you never know who you're going to meet in there. And there's always lots of fun. Also, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups and guilds. I can't say it. I can't talk today. This is going to be odd. And you can reach me on the About tab. Is my email address. Or you can message me through the Facebook group. I'm actually I'm a little faster answering Facebook than I am email. Also, if you guys have got a shout out, that would be important. Send me the link on my email address or in the Facebook group. That's perfect. We also have Zoom sew dates in the show notes, and they're 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. usually first Saturday of the month, but it also gives you the Zoom link and everything like that. And please share, like, and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the bell so you don't miss comments or content. And please make comments because those comments help our analytics out so much. And we want to continue giving you fun, free patterns. So this, like I say, yep, that's it. That's covered it all. So come on in. Let's get to the sewing today. Okay, I was asked in an email about what to do with these really dark or darker low volumes. They didn't quite look okay against medium fabric, medium colors. And and this is a perfect example of, yes, this is a low volume, but you don't get enough contrast when you're putting it against a medium or a lighter medium because it's pretty dark. So what, we were talking about that as we were nibbling crackers, and I thought, okay, I could do this. I could just make little nibbles, right? So what I did is I took all my darks, and I took out a particularly dark brown because I thought, oh, this one would be perfect with brown, because brown, if I have every opportunity to use brown, I'm going to use it because I need to learn how to master it, which is okay, right? So what I did is I cut 18 2-inch blocks. Yes, 2-inch squares. And what I'm doing is I had enough to do all this, but I thought, oh, let's dress this up. Let's change this around. Let's do a couple of different ones. Then you can see how this would look really, really good scrappy. Right? And I mean, you can go totally crazy scrappy on it as long as you had darks and these darker low volumes. This would work. This would also work if you just had, your paler low volumes, right? Like your whites and your white on whites, and you just, that's where you wanted to be with it. It would be pretty good. Yeah, we're trying to address your questions. And if you do have questions, there's an email address in the About tab, or if you're part of the Facebook group, just send me a message on your Facebook. I'd be happy to reply back to you. It's really hard sometimes, especially if you got a donation of scraps and you're like, I have no idea what to do with this. Oh my Lord. You know, and it's kind of like you hate to throw it away, but at the same time, it's what do I do, right? So you know, sometimes you get stymied and you're like, I have no idea what to do with this. Oh, by the way, I'm just piling these up over here. So, just in case you're wondering. Piling them up over there so they're not in the way. Now, if you did this all scrappy, I would suggest you use only darks in the corners. You know, when you're snowballing or flip and stitch. You know. And I didn't want to get too big because, you know, some of these low volumes, they're just pretty prints too, you know, and they need to be given time to shine. So if you were to make an entire quilt of this would be a very restful quilt because you'd have lots of low volume, right? So if you're looking for something a little more sedate than the normal insanity of what I make, then you could use something. You could take this idea and use it, right? So, yeah, this one actually, it's a good one to chew up a bunch of odds and sods of low volume too, right? Because let's say you don't have enough low volume to make a quilt, but you have a bunch of bits and pieces. This is a perfect one, you know, because you can use all sorts of different low volumes in here, and just make little, you know, little things go on here. Okay, there we go. Let me get that right under there. And yeah, I don't know, I thought this was kind of a fun idea. So what other fun ideas do you like to sew, right? I mean, that's kind of the question, right? What kind of fun things do you like to do in what's your best block or your favorite block? I mean, that's kind of an interesting thing to find out too, right? Yeah, I'm flipping this over to see if I got good coverage. I do. This triangle that I'm cutting off is too small, right? So I'm going to put that into my pet bit. And I'm going to go directly across and just get the other side. Yeah. Line that up. Take my time to line it up. There we go. Yeah, there's certain blocks I just love. I just find that, you know, they make me smile, right? So the Churn Dash is one, a Friendship Star, Sawtooth Star, like, I mean, all those really old-fashioned blocks. I mean, I just love them because they just remind me of home and, you know, chicken Sunday suppers and, you know, mashed potatoes and gravy and, you know, like all those fun memories that you would have as a kid. You know, that's why they make me smile. But yeah, they bring back fun memories. So I'm just always happy to do this. Now, the reason why you're doing while we're here, I always try and put my finger on the seam before I cut, because that way I'm not cutting the wrong side of the seam. I've done that. Ask me how I know. I've done that. Yeah, especially when you're tired too, right? It's like, you know, when you're tired, sometimes you do some silly stuff. But this is also a really good leader ender project because you can do quite a bit of stuff here before, you know, you actually start assembling blocks. You know. There we go. There's a few more to go, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, there's certain stars that bring back memories. That's all what I'm trying to say. Or certain blocks that bring back memories. But yeah, it's what are your favorite ones? That's the one I want to know. It's kind of a, you know, this. I love to do, like, I also like looking at basket quilt blocks. You know, they're so much fun, and sometimes you see where people have embroidered on them, and, you know, they put all these lovely little flowers or vines, and yeah, it's just so cool how everybody interprets. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. Putting my thumb on the line. If I put my thumb on the line, I have yet to cut on the wrong side of that seam line, right? Which sounds strange, but that's that's just the way things happen sometimes. Right now. Well, here. Oh, come on. Come on, you can do better. There we go. And now it's getting stuck. Oh, that's good. Now when you're sewing on that line, you just want to sew by kissing the line, because you need to make sure that you can turn the cloth. Turning the cloth, right? Turning cloth on a block sometimes when you're doing these snowballs, yeah, you've got a little bit of, depending on how thick the fabric is and how stiff it is, and, like you might have a problem if you're right in the line. Because I've ironed these, so I'm kind of following a line that I've ironed. But if you were too close, or you're in the line, all of a sudden now you haven't enough room to turn your cloth over and make it work. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind when you're doing this as well. Okay. There. Oops, come on. Okay. There we go. There. Now I'm good. Almost the last one. Almost the last one. Then we get to sew it together. Yay! There. Get under. There we go. I backstitched a couple just to make sure that my seam was being covered, or it was going to sew correctly. It looked like it was starting to bunch up, so I decided, okay, we'll just take matters into our own hands and fix it now before it happens. There we go. All right. And the last one goes under the needle. There we go. Here. Now, there we go. All of it's done. Yay. Okay. I'm going to change this foot while I'm thinking about it. If people are asking why I'm changing foot, this foot gives me better vision, or I can see stuff better with this foot on when I'm going across or snowballing, or when I'm doing foundation paper piecing. However, I do prefer my 1/4 inch seam foot for when I'm doing my 1/4 inch seams. I find I can sew faster, which is like bizarre, but anyways, it works. So I'm just going to cut off these corners and then line them up the way like we know what we're doing. Line them up like we know what we're doing. There we go. Nice. It's too bad these are just a tad too small for me. Now I slant them all the same way, and I'm going to show you all the different ideas you can come up with these. Oh, I didn't even check that one. Oops, that wasn't good. It looks square. Okay, let's check. Got too excited. Getting to the end. Okay. Now, there. Yep, that works. There. There we go. Yep, I got good coverage there. Oh no. This is like, this, you know, like if you did if you're doing a quilt, you would have a whole whack of these and you'd sit in front of the TV and just trim, right? You know, and then you would sit the next day, you would, you know, sew all this stuff together, right? Oops, 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 oops. Let's see. Yes, I do. It's excellent. Okay. Now, what comes up out of this is you do have a secondary pattern coming up, and they look like little butterfly things or something going on like that, right? Now, if you start trading these around, right, where you can create like this kind of thing going on, you know, then if you're doing all different colors, that would also look really good, because you could just have, you know, a 4-patch, and with 4 different colors and 4 different, you know, outer points, you would have, you know, cute little diamonds in between, right? So it's kind of, you know, it's a fun little way what secondary patterns you can get out. But I really like this. It looks like nibbled on crackers. So anyways, let's put this together. And there's no seams to match up with your snowballing, so you don't have to worry about that. You got lots of space in between, like you're not creating anything, you know, like a flying goose or that kind of stuff. So let's just web this block together. Oops, oops. Here we go. I do really like this print. I think that one was a donation. I'm pretty sure it was a donation. But it was gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous print. There we go. I'm fond of little posies, you know, little designs, because they translate well. I love doing that because they translate well when you're doing mini blocks. You know, they're just cute. They're fun to work with and they're cute. Okay, here we go. And we're just gonna pull this one down, and yes, we are on the right track. All the stuff so far is slanting the right way. Yay! Okay. There we go. And make sure this all matches evenly. Yes, it does. And slice off that thread. Okay. Yeah, so you don't want to sew it with the same fabric here, but you'd sew it here, right? Okay. Just making sure everybody's on the same. And last up is this one. Okay, now I'm going to go the other way. I'm just going to move the design board out of the way. There. So now we can see this all out here. And we're going to make this go on. There we go. Okay. Now, with the needle down, I'm going to cut my webbing so I can really get in there and match that up really well. And you're just going to, you know, nest this corner. One's going up, the other one will go down. And you just want to get one stitch past that line. There you go. And there. Okay, and now we cut that end. All right. Now, we just fold it over like this, and this will show you which ones go up and which ones go down, the seams. Okay, because you're going to alternate the way your seams are going up and down, right? Now, with the needle down, you cut your webbing. This one goes down, the bottom one goes up. Right? As you can see, this one's going down, right? Make sure you get right tight in there. Okay, and now this goes in, and that goes out. There we go. Oops. There we go. And the last little bit. There we go. Okay, now with this, because of the way we've sewn it, you're going to be able to pop these open. And they go in different directions, so just be mindful about which direction they're going. And then you'll be able to get this block laying really flat. And sometimes I sew too tight, and I have to just get a stitch ripper in there to get the last stitch open. You don't want to open the stitch too far down. Like, you don't want to get into the seam you just sewed, right? But you just want to pop the second last seam. Okay, so now this will go with your seam spun just like this. So when I hit it with a clapper and an iron, this is going to be really flat when I'm done. Okay, so that's how this goes. All right, do you see how I flipped all those? Oops, this one is not cooperating. Just a minute here. Let me dig in here for a bit. Okay, I just got one seam that will not, one stitch that won't, oh, there it is. I got it. Okay, so see, you've pressed your seams open on all four corners of that center. And now when you iron it and put your clapper on it, it's going to lie really flat. So let me get it ironed and we'll get to our ta-da moment. Okay, here's our cute little block, Nibbled. We've seen this block around, I don't know how many times, but usually it's the color is the big part and the low volume is the corner. But this is perfect for your darker low volumes, right? You just use a dark, doesn't matter what color dark you use, as long as it's a true dark. So black, navy, chocolate brown, steel gray, that kind of thing. You could probably get away with this pattern. I really like this. I might have to make a quilt out of this for, charity, but I just thought this was such a cool idea for using our darker low volumes. But anyways, so I do hope you give this one a try. It was lots of fun for you to do. It's a great leader ender project. Don't forget, it's a good leader ender. So you guys have fun and take care, and I hope life is treating you grand. Okay? Stay well until we see each other again. Bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life and, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.